We are back for another episode of Trash Your Treasure, and this time we're using Nomad's Ireland Wild Atlantic Way, and this is what it looks like. Trash Your Treasure is the series that we're doing to determine when I use something that I haven't used for a while, using it to see, is this palette treasure or if it's trash? This is episode number 7, I believe. I do have on foundation and primer. My brows are done. I just primed the eyelids, and so when we come back, we will jump into this look. We're going to jump in with Ring of Kerry. This shade right here, this is the Hourglass number 3. We are tapping off, and a lot did tap off, and we're just going to press this right there. This is why I love this primer. And I do have a little bit of fallout already because I tapped it instead of tapping it on the side of the palette. And so, but we do just have foundation on, so we can just use that foundation brush just to pat under the eyes again to clean up that fallout. The shimmers in here are prone to fallout, I will say that, but as you see, it's not a lot of fallout because for me, if you've been here, say it with me, the Fenty primer is a tacky primer. For some people it's not, but for me it is, and I don't have dry lids or oily lids. And so when people say you have to use a tacky base, for me that's the Fenty primer. So right now we are going to take the brush that we use for foundation, and we're just going to pat away the little bit of fallout that we had. Now we're going to go into this shade right here. I'm not going to pronounce it because I really feel like I would pronounce it wrong. So this shade right here, these shades do produce a lot of tap off, and so we're going to just pat that here. And you see I'm not swiping, I am just patting, and we're going to pat on the line of where the first shade and this shade meets, and that's going to give us our blend. So this is easy to use for me, this palette. I just realized I didn't do the intro. Hello and welcome. If you're new here, if you've been here before, welcome back. I call this the Crazy Troll Nation of YouTube. Why? The crazy knowing it's okay to be your authentic self, and the troll part is not caring too much about beauty community standards. You'll hear that you must use this brand or this tool or this technique, and I'm telling you that you don't. You set the standard for yourself. Use whatever you want to, however you want to get your makeup on in a way that you are satisfied with it. The bottom line here is self-acceptance and self-love, embracing your natural features, enhancing them if you want to, when you want to, but never feeling like you have to. Love yourself for who you are and for how you look, even when you're not wearing face paint. Also, if you're new here, 2 things you need to know about me. I do have a little bit, this is not what to know about me, a little bit of foundation left on the palette, so we're going to just tap a little more. And I know you guys are saying, just wait till you're done all of the eyeshadows. I know, I hear you. I hear you. I do curse because I curse, and there's an organism that lives in my throat that randomly hiccups, gurgles, and belches, and I do always try to say excuse me. Sometimes 1 or 2 will get past me, but for the most part, I think I do okay. Now we're going to take this shade down here, Cobb Harbor. This is a beautiful shade. Actually, all the shimmers in here are beautiful shades. So we're going to tap off, and we're going to put this over here on the outer corner of our lid. These shadows are really pretty. So let me know if you have this palette. If so, what do you think about it? If it was on your wish list and you just never, purchased it, or were you just like, this is a no for me? So yeah, sound off down below in the comments and let me know what your thoughts are on it. So I do have a membership also if you're new here and you don't know. And also for all looks and all videos, there's special things. If you're really just enjoying a video and you just want to do additional support for the channel, that's available too. And just watching and subscribing and liking and sharing is support. And so that's why anything above that, including using my links or codes, lots of information down below, that's why I say that's just extra, because you being here is support. So I will never say, if you want to support me, you'll use my links. No, because you just being here supports me, and I do appreciate that. So this is what we have so far, and I do like how these shades are looking together. And so we're just feathering this a little bit with the tip of the brush. I'm liking this look. Here, looking here, it seems like there's a gap right here between the green and the blue, but it's actually not. It's just how the light is playing off of it. So now we're going to take, what were we going to do for transition? I think I was going to do this for transition, but I seem to think this was a little dusty on me for some reason. So now I'm like, do I want to do that? Because I do think it showed up dusty on me. If it does, we will top it with something else. So let me just take out that other brush. This is the Sigma E45. So we're going to tap in here. I do think this is the one that made me look a little dusty. So we're going to swipe very gently on the top edge of the lid shades. I was getting grapes, and there's a piece of skin from the grapes. I guess it was stuck between my teeth and now it's out. So that's why I'm kind of like making these faces, because I'm trying to just swallow it and not have it come out. So what this shadow did was, it did just blur the line. So you see how this, well actually it's blurred anyway because it shimmers, and so it just kind of blends, you know, blends into my skin tone, but you can see the difference here. I think you can see the distinct line, especially if I do like this, and over here there is no distinct line. So that's what this shade does for me, and I am pleased to see that it does not make me look ashy, because I really thought that it did. Maybe it was this one, I don't know. But I do like this look. So this is a There Not There shade, which is good for buffing out shadow, as you can tell, because it did just blur that line, even though I was using this for a transition shade. So now I want to go a little bit deeper. I want to put something on the outer corner. So let's take a different brush. I'm going to take this Esom brush, and we're going to go into Keem Strand, this shade here. I just want something darker on the outer corner. I am coating both sides of the brush so that hopefully I won't have to go back into the palette. And so we're going to just put a little bit, oh, right there, that's nice. And with the other side of the brush, we're going to put that right there. So the shapes are looking the same. So we're going to come back over here and feather it into that third shade that we put on the lid. That is nice. I'm thinking this is Treasure, because this is just super easy. Like, yes, there's fallout, but it wasn't like anything that was unmanageable, especially because I did not put on powders yet. I like this look. And also I'm doing Treasures because I want to reduce the number of palettes that I have. But as I mentioned earlier, I'm finding that when I use palettes that I haven't used in a while, like, I'm really liking them. So everything so far, except one, was Treasure. So for lower lash line, we are going to take, what do we want to do? I think I want to just take this shade for lower lash line. I pulled out a green for upper lash line. So you know what, let's take this one here, because I do like when my lower lash line shade matches my, that shade is Blarney Stone. I like when my upper lash line shade matches my lower lash line shade. And we are going to place this and blow it down a little bit too. And so I do like it when it's wide like that. And we're going to just pull it out a little bit over here. I did not, what was I going to say? I used up one of my MAC liners, and I'm not going to replace it right away because I want to get through some of my other ones, but I do miss that color. It was more of like a green, and I do find that I am missing that. The reason I went like that is because I saw the shadow puffing up. So I'm just trying to get rid of like this bare skin right here, which actually is the liner color we put under there. This eye is starting to tear upward. I can feel it. All right, so let me hurry up so we can get this done and get the looks done and all of that before my tearing ruins the look. And that's probably from when shadow did puff up into my eye. So this side is a little bit thicker. You know, I look sick. I like it though. If y'all have seen my Pat McGrath Treasure, one of the Bijou Brilliance Quints, that was the messy grunge that I talk about that I love. And I know that look is not for everybody. And I'm actually surprised some of the views that I did get on it, because I'm like, this ain't it. And I know it's a bit much for some people, but y'all, I love that look. So when I say messy grunge, that's what I'm talking about. Not the cutesy grunge and everything is nice and neat, but just like putting it on and being like, yeah, we did it. What? We're bringing this down some because the other side is down a little bit further. So this is it for the shadows, y'all. I'm going to finish the face. I am going to put on Melt Cosmetics. This is that gel liner, and this is, let me show you what it looks like. It's almost like a deep black green or green black, but we're going to put that on. So this is it for the eyeshadow. Y'all, I love my lower lash line buffed down like this, and I don't see many people that do that, but I love it. So when we come back, everything will be done. This is the finished look. For lips, we use Sea Queen, which is number 122 from the Sephora cream lip stain collection. They don't have this number, they don't have this name anymore, and it's smelling a little weird. And I know I did recently get rid of Dark Forest because it was smelling a little funny. So this is going to be trash, even though it wasn't part of Treasure. But we're going to get rid of this. And I haven't seen another shade like this or like Dark Forest, and I actually do miss Dark Forest because I would have used that for today. But I put this on to pull off of or pull out the blue on the outer corner, and so I am really digging this look. So what else did we use? We used 2 Sigma bronzers. We used a Sigma blush, all of these sent by Bestie. One of the bronzers was free gift with purchase, and the highlighter was gifted by Bestie. We did set the face with the Cashew Fenty powder. We did put on Fortune upper lash line from Melt Cosmetics. Finishing powder, pulled at random, House Labs Luminous Light. And what else did we do? Some mascara. And that's everything except, you know, the foundation and primer, which are typical for me to use. And so, what do I think about this palette? This palette is treasure. What I realized doing this is, and I feel like I say this quite often recently, is that this look I can do with some of my Lethal Cosmetic shades. And I do have quite a bit of Lethal. I did rank all of my Lethal palettes, including my BYOPs. And it wasn't as anxiety ridden as I thought it was going to be. But looking at the colors that I have, I could do this with that. And so I did say a while ago that when a palette dies, meaning the formula changes, it starts to irritate my eyes, and or it's past the PAO, then I'll just let it die and not make a big deal out of, oh my gosh, I don't have that palette. And I think now subconsciously, so thank you for helping me process this. I think that might be subconsciously why when I'm doing looks, I'm thinking I could do this with my Lethal. And so even if I really love a look, I know I can still get that look with other stuff. You know what I mean? And so I do think that's what's happening inside of my mind. And so let me know what you think of this look. Let me know what you think about the blown out lower lash line, which I love. I really do. And I almost thought about putting Melt in my brows, the color we use for upper lash line in my brows. I said, you know what, let's just be sensible today, because I know sometimes I do a lot and it may be a bit much for some people. And so I appreciate you for being here. But that is our video for today. Let me know your thoughts on this palette. Let me know your thoughts on this look. And as always, self-acceptance, self-love, that is the Crazy Troll Nation way. Thank you, and you will see me soon.